Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes of Israel. Today I'm going to deal with a reaction video called Leading from Behind Part 2. Leading from Behind Part 2. So this is the second version of the first that I did, and it's about a sportsman or an athlete, I think he's a basketball player, called Dwayne Wade, and his wife, which is Gabrielle Union, and they both did this. I think they were at an NAACP award ceremony, and they were receiving an award, and the things that they said caused a little bit of an outrage. So here we go. Roll the clip.
Let's just name a couple hard truths. First, the intersection of Black rights and the rights of the LGBTQIA, trans, and gender nonconforming people continues to be rough. That's a huge understatement. Even as we demand equality at the top of our lungs, we consistently fail to extend our advocacy to protect some of our most vulnerable among us. And second, Black trans people are being targeted, terrorized, and hunted in this country. Every day, everywhere.
I'm getting Jezebel vibes here because the husband has just spoken, right? He was eloquent. I don't agree with what he said, right? But he was eloquent. He is the man of the house. He is the father. He is the biological father. She isn't. But she couldn't just allow him to just have his peace. No, she needs to take it to the next level. And she needs to now make every Black person feel bad because, hey, you're just not accepting. You're not accepting this lifestyle. You're not accepting it. And it becomes even that bit more uncomfortable because you're dealing with children, right? You know, you're dealing with children, and you cannot equate whatever you're coming with, whatever ideologies that you're coming with, which are not biblical, which are not rooted in the Bible, and place that on a poor child's life and try and make everybody feel bad. He's like the poster boy, literally the poster boy or poster girl now for whatever ideologies that you want to push from your own head or from what you feel that everybody should accept. It's like, this is not what the Bible teaches. This is not biblical, right? It's not biblical. And if it's not biblical, it means that God is not happy with it.
And there's rarely a whisper about it. We honestly don't approach this work as activists or leaders as much as we do this as parents. Parents who love our children and will do whatever the hell we can to keep them seen and secure and safe. This is a conversation worth having in ways that can actually build bridges, right? That don't fan the flames of hatred or division. That don't enable lawmakers or justice systems to look the other way when Black trans people are under attack.
So the husband takes the back seat, so he steps behind, and she's allowed to take be the center of the show, be the star, right? And she's now taking pleasure in rebuking Black people. Oh, well, it's all of you's fault. It's all of it's your fault. While black trans people are being humiliated and oppressed just like Black people, and it's all your fault. And she now takes it center stage to rebuke everyone for their wickedness. But what I've got to ask you is it biblical? In other words, is it a righteous thing? If having that type of lifestyle or encouraging it, is it righteous? No, it's not. And when you're dealing with children, it's even worse, because your job as a parent is to raise your child in the way in which you would have that child go. Right? Whatever you do is going to determine what that child does later on in life. Right? If you raise your child as a drug dealer, that child is going to grow up being a drug dealer. It's as simple as that.
They don't drive more young people to hate themselves or harm themselves. They don't cost people their lives. So we are humbled and we are hopeful for the future. We are hopeful that we may witness a real shift in the fight for justice. The moment the movement makes room for everyone. Everyone. Thank you.
So this woman walks off as if like she said something, as if like she said something useful. All she did is convince everyone that she's in charge of this marriage and he's not. He stands behind her like some little boy. This is a 6-foot+ man, muscular. He stands behind this woman while she takes center stage as a star, rebuking everyone and acting as if like she's in control. When he is the man, he should be in control of his marriage, not her. And the child is not her biological child. And therefore it asks the question, why is this man allowing this woman to control him in this way? She has a Jezebel spirit inside of her, and he has a horrible Ahab spirit. He's weak. And this is why men in general are saying, we can't deal with these modern women anymore. They're just evil. A lot of them are just evil. We can't trust them, and a lot of them are evil. And I'm not saying all black women are evil, because they're not. You know, if you go outside of these Western countries, you find black women that are nice, sweet, kind, loving, because they understand their place. They understand why they were made, and they understand that they need a man, right? It's not just, oh, I just want a man, but they understand that they need a man, you see? And that's why a lot of brothers are not even bothering with these relationships. They're just going abroad and saying to hell with it. Right? Because if this is what you have to become to be married and to stay married, then we don't want any part of it. You know, men in general cannot suppress their masculinity for long. You see, women think, oh, he's always going to be under my control, but sooner it's not going to last for long. You know, he might put up with it for a few years, but after a while, he's going to say, hang on, I'm a man. I need to be a man. You know, why am I with a woman that is trying to make me a woman? I'm a man. Right? Okay, so what we're going to do some edification now. And I'm just going to go over a couple of scriptures, and hopefully you can gain some understanding. Right? So let's go to 1 Corinthians 13:11. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. Because when you're a child, you're a child. You don't know any better. You do stupid things. You become a tomboy. If you're a boy, you might want to, especially if you're surrounded by sisters, by women, right? You might want to be like your mother. You might want to be like your sisters. You might be in an environment where there's a lot of that going on, and then you emulate it. You might be in an environment where the media is saying, it's fine, you can experiment, you could do whatever you want to do, right? Because you're a child, you know, you're just finding yourself, right? You're in charge, you're a child. You know, the media keeps pushing, the culture keeps pushing all of this foolishness down your throat. The world keeps pushing all of this unrighteousness, all of this ungodly behavior down your throat as a child. So obviously you're going to want to emulate. You're going to want to test the water. You're going to want to try things out because you're a child, right? That's why you need good parents around you to say, no, you can't, because you're a child. I'm the grown up here and you're not, right? So it says, let's read it again. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. So you speak as a child because you're a child. You don't know any better. I understood as a child. Your understanding is childish because you're not a grown person. I thought as a child. Your thinking is very much like a child. You're thinking about, oh, I just want to play and have fun. I just want to experiment and push the boundaries and to see how far I can get away with stuff. I thought as a child, but when I became a man, when you became a grown up, a grown woman or grown man, I put away childish things. You put those childish things away because you now become a grown up and you realize, oh, the reason why I was behaving the way I was behaving because I wasn't being managed properly by my parents, or my parents weren't around, or the people that were supposed to be taking care of me didn't do a good job safeguarding me. So this is why I ended up doing the things that I was doing. But now you become a grown-up now, and now you can kind of look with grown-up eyes and think, oh, I shouldn't have been doing that. Nah, that was really wrong. So now I need to put those things away. You see? Now, people are different. Children are different. Children grow differently. Some people have more of an inclination to go a particular way, and some children have more of an inclination to not, right? Every child is different. That's why you need parents who know you more than anybody else, who can guide the way and to keep normality, keep things normal as much as possible. Anyhow, let's go to Proverbs 22. So we're going to go to Proverbs 22 and we're going to read from 4 to 6. Here, ready, go. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life. Right? So by humility, because if you have the fear of the Lord in you, you're supposed to be humble, because the Bible says the meek shall inherit the earth. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. He that doeth keep his soul shall be far from them. So the froward goes into those wicked people, right? So thorns and snares, all these traps, all these things that are going, thorns are like needles. All these things that are there to prevent you from having a good time, right? Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. He that doeth keep his soul shall be far from them. So if you keep your soul, if you keep your righteousness, you keep your humility, you keep your fear of the Lord, you protect your soul, it means that you'll be far from them, because the Lord won't feel the need to allow Satan to put those things in the way to bring you back on track. You see, because now you have the protection of the Lord, you have the protection of the Most High, protection of Christ, protection of the angels. You see? 6, train up a child in the way he should go. You need to train your child. This is a very simple, basic scripture, but a lot of these laws in the Bible are simple and basic. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So you got to train up your child. You are the grown up. You need to train your child. So if you see your child saying, well, say you have a son and he's gravitating towards wearing heels and dresses and skirts and wearing long nails and makeup and things that are feminine, you as the parent, you need to say, hey, no, you can't, because you're a boy. You need to wear boy clothes. You need to be into boy stuff. And I'm going to buy you boy stuff. I'm going to buy you boy colors. I'm going to buy you cars. And I'm going to buy you the things that boys like, because you're a child. Now, when you grow up, you can make your own decisions, but you're a child, you see, and I'm in charge of you, right? If you have a girl who wants boy things, you need to buy her dolls and dresses, and you need to buy her doll houses, and you need to get her pink stuff, and you need to get her the feminine stuff because she's a child. She's not a grown-up. The world keeps saying, oh, well, you got to know what they like, and you just got to do it. Otherwise, they're just not happy because you're suppressing their gender. They were born a wrong gender. The world wants to ram all of this nonsense down their throat because they hate God, because they don't have the fear of God, because they're not humble to the Lord, because their whole life is unrighteous, evil, usurping the authority of men, A lot of these women usurp the authority of men. They love it. They enjoy it. Doing whatever they want to do not want to be led by a man. And a lot of these men are Ahabs. They don't want to lead their wives, or they let their wives get away with doing whatever the hell they want. And then you wonder why there's this type of situation happens. This type of situation happens because the man is not standing up and saying, hang on, that's my son. I'm a man myself. This is to do with me and my son. And my son will not be changing his gender. He is a child. And therefore I have to have respect for him as a boy, and he needs to be raised as a boy. When he becomes grown, he can do whatever the hell he wants. But in my house, he will be raised to fear the Lord. This is how a man is supposed to stand. But if you're Ahab, you'll be going along with whatever the hell your wife wants. Why? Because you're scared of her. You're scared of her leaving. You're scared of her. You're just scared of her in general because she's a Jezebel. She has a Jezebel spirit. Now, I don't know these two, and quite frankly, I don't really care about these two. I'm just using these two as an example to show those people that can't see it, right? That this is the way. If you're disobedient, you're not humble, and you don't have the fear of the Lord in you, you don't have righteousness in you, then you would just be like a kite flying in the wind. And whatever the culture says, whatever the world tells you to, the way the world tells you to think is exactly the way how you would think. And then before you know it, you are destroyed. The Lord puts thorns, and he puts all sorts of needles, all sorts of traps in your way to stop you from flourishing. Brothers and sisters, I hope you were edified. Shalom.